I'm going to write a Java program to extract all the student ID numbers from student table. So here extract meaning, I write extract. Extract means I'm going to take all the student ID number only, not the name, don't care about the major, whatever is it, only the student ID number from the table student and display onto the standard output. That means console. So I'm going to print it onto the output. That's it. I'm going to extract all the student ID numbers from the table student and just display it, print it onto the standard output. That's my program. Whenever you start a program, you need to think of any classes. Do you need any classes? So you have to import those standard classes. So here, I'm going to use some classes for connecting the database, for loading the driver, and for creating a statement, and for executing the statement. I'm going to use certain classes, and those classes are in package SQL. So this is the package, SQL package. Okay, so start my program, EX, my main method. Remember this program, I'm going to use Jdbc to Jdbc driver for example, to connect to a database, and then I'm going to do something with the table, like maybe insert a record or select a record or do something with the tables. Okay, so this Jdbc program may throw at least two exceptions. What are the two exceptions? SQL exception and then class not found exception. Either you write the try catch block or you declare it like this. So I'm declaring it like this. If you want, you can have a try catch block. So two catch block, one for SQL exception, second one for the class not found exception. Okay, but I'm declaring the exception here. I'm telling the JVM that, oh sorry, I'm telling the JVM that this main method may throw these unchecked exceptions. I'm telling the JVM that this main method is may throw these two exceptions during execution. Okay then. The first statement, what I'm going to do is load the Jdbc driver. Okay. So how to load the Jdbc driver? We have a class called class and then a method in the class for name. So you are going to use class dot for name to load the driver. So inside the bracket, you need to give the driver string. Okay, in the textbook, you might have seen there are certain page number. Let me, in my textbook, the page number is 1213. Okay, here in that page 1213, they gave the drivers, the URL pattern of the drivers for Access database or MySQL database or Oracle database. Okay, then. So if you are using Access, or if you are using the MySQL, if you are using the Oracle, the driver class is different. Okay, but I am using MySQL. So the driver class is, you can memorize this one. Okay, you don't have to, because you are using MySQL. So this is the driver class name. What is that? Dot all small case. Fine. So there is no uppercase, all small case. If when it is uppercase, I will tell you. So what is the driver class? com.mysql.jdbc dot, here is the capital letter driver. Inside the quotation, you write all those things. Remember to go to this page number 1213. We gave the driver class for different types of database. If you are using MySQL database, this is the driver class. If you are using Access database, different driver class. If you are using Oracle, different driver class. Okay, I'm using MySQL driver class. Okay, then I hope you understand this. Okay, this is MySQL driver class. I'm using MySQL driver class. So after this statement, let's show to the user driver is loaded, a message. So you can understand that, yeah, like loading of the driver is fine. Okay. So easy for you to understand what happened. Now, so first you load the driver, then you connect to the database. Okay. So now connect to the database. Okay, how to connect to the database? Here we are going to use another class called connection. Here we use the class, just a class for loading the driver. This is the class I'm using. For connecting to the database, this is the class I'm going to use. Connection dot, sorry, not dot. I'm going to declare a connection object. Connection class object. So let me give an object name, con equals driver manager. This is another class, driver manager. It has a method called get connection. Okay, so inside the bracket you have to give long string. Okay, here this string is going to have the database name, also the password you use to go inside the SQL, you know, the back screen, the command line client. When you want to go inside the client, you give a password. Is it? You don't give any username, but you give a password. All these details you are going to mention it here. Okay, it's a long string, so better you just memorize those things. Okay, actually this is a kind of a long string. Let me explain. So connection is the class name. This is your object name. Remember this object. I'm going to use this object in my upcoming statements. Okay, driver manager dot get connection, and after this you have to give the long string. That is the one going to say all those details. Jdbc colon MySQL colon / localhost 3306. This is the port number. While you install the MySQL, it will give this port number. By default, it's 3306. Okay, and this is the database name. If I'm using student file, write it here. If you are using another database, write it here. What database? Okay, remember, all the tables are inside a particular database. You created the database and you created the table. Remember all those names. So this is the database name, question mark, character encoding, UTF-8. This is the encoding I'm using. Okay, let's go back and use SSL equals false. So these things you have to remember. Here you don't change anything except this database name. Okay, whenever you created it, you don't have to use same name, student file. I use same name, I use student file. Next time when I give you another exercise, I may use employer. Next time I may use another name. Okay, not necessary you have to have one database. Okay, so you just change this database name only. After the quotation, this is the location of the database, comma, and inside the bracket give the username. Okay, here by default the username is root. You don't type the username when you log on to MySQL server. By default the username is root, and then comma, and followed by, where is it, followed by the password. Do you remember for the black screen, this black screen, when you log on, it asks you the password and you give the password 1 2 3 or something. For me, I give this is my password, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so when I enter the black screen, I give that password. So this is the statement to connect to the database. So after this, let's put one print statement telling the user that database connection is over. Our database is connected, something like a message. So the user can understand that, oh, loading driver is over, no problem. The connection is over, no problem. So you can easily track the mistake. Okay, that's the thing we are using here. Okay, so loading the driver is over, connection is over. Now I need a statement, SQL statement, and I'm going to execute the SQL statement. So what's next? Create a statement, SQL statement. So we have another class called statement. Create a object st equals, this is the thing I told you, remember the object name, connection object, con. So use the same here. Here I write con. So here also you write con. Con dot create statement. This is the method. Create statement is the method I'm calling it. So remember the con, connection object is con, statement object is st. So remember those object names. I'm going to use this. What's my question? I'm going to extract all the student ID numbers. Extract means I'm going to use select statement. You remember the select statement? Let's go back to the black screen. When you say select asterisk from student number, or what is the question? Question 1, select all the student numbers. How do you write? Select student, ID from student table. So when you do like this, you get a certain long output. What is your output? It displays 7 ID numbers. So maybe if my table is bigger, like 100 student data, so I will get 100 ID number. So the output is not one, it has many. I don't know how many. Maybe my table has 2 records only, or 10 records, or it can have 30, 40, 50 records. So the output may be different, not one output. Do you get my point, what I'm trying to say? Here my output is 7 ID number. Maybe if I have more records, more output. Okay. So I have a result. It's not one result, it's a collection of something. It's a more. Okay, if I say like this, wait a second. Let me go back. If my select statement is like this, select asterisk from student, output is little more. I have ID number 7, I have 7 names, I have 7 major, I have 7 phone number. So there are too many output. So this is called result set. What I'm going to do, I'm going to save all the result set in an object. Okay, so I'm going to save all the result set in an object. Okay, how I'm going to do is, let's see that, execute statement. I'm going to execute a statement. When I execute a statement, I get the result, big result. For select statement only, I get the result. One thing is, if got disconnected, connect using the same, what do you call, same username and password. Fine. Okay, so this is about the statement, select statement. When I execute it, I get a result. But Imagine if you are inserting a record. Let's go back to the black screen. I want to insert a record. So you say insert into student. You will say values, and inside the bracket you will write the ID number, for example 11119, and then you will write the name. Names is Jane, whatever, and then you write the major. Major is maybe, for example, computer engineering, and then the phone number. Let's say 1234567 8. I don't know. Okay, so when I execute this statement, do I get any result? No. There is any output? No. But where is the output? You will see it in the select star from student. You see it inside the C. It's inside the table. Some statements display something. There is an output for some statement. For some statement, there is no output. Database got updated, but you won't see anything outside. So here, insert statement, there is nothing output. Select statement, there is output. Remember that point. So when you're executing a statement, sometimes you get an output. For this question, extract all the ID number and display on the screen. So this select statement has an output. So I have to save it in one variable. So that is what you call result set object, which is, let me call it result, equals statement object st dot. I'm going to execute the statement or query. So let's see. This is the wait a minute. This is the method. This execute query method will execute a particular SQL statement, and execute query will return the result. So that result will be stored in this variable. Okay, execute query will return some result. Remember, I'm going to explain one more thing here. For this statement, insert statement, there is no return value. Okay. For select statement, there is a return value. Okay. Do you get the idea? So execute query will have a return statement. Remember. But for some other type of statement like insert, for example, if you're going to do insert, there is no output. Okay, so we will be using some other type of statement. We call it prepared statement, something like that. Let me explain that one later, not now. Let's see this one. Okay, so this method execute query will execute a particular statement and will return the result, and that will be saved here. Okay, so what is the statement? Let's write the statement. What's the question? Extract all the student ID numbers, only the number. So select student ID spelling. Remember to keep the same spelling. Can you see? Student ID, capital letter, ID, capital letter. Select student ID from student spelling. That's it. This is the statement I'm going to execute. Close the bracket. So fine. Here don't put semicolon. Only you have to put the semicolon in the black screen. So this is execute query method. What it will do, this one will execute this statement, and then it will get some result from this statement, and that result is stored in this variable. Fine. This is about executing. Okay. So this variable result has the output. I want to print it nicely onto the screen because the question says extract and then display it. Extract all the records and then display it. Okay then. So the result may have 1 record or 10 record or 100 record. Do I know about how many records my table has? Who knows? No one knows. Okay. So we will be using while loop. While result dot next. Let's use, you can't use a for loop because I don't know how many records are there. If I surely know 10, I can say from 1 to 10. I don't know how many records, how many values are there inside my this one variable. So result, this one, result dot next. Does it has a next record? Then go inside the loop. It does not has a next record, go outside the loop. If the condition is true, execute the loop. If the condition is false, come out of the loop. Okay. As next. So the result set dot next. It will check, do I have a next record? Okay. Does the result set object has next record or not? If it has a next record, it will execute the query. It will execute the body of the loop. So what is in the body of the loop? I need to display it onto the standard output. Okay, very fine, simple. So system.out.println. Okay, in one record, you may have many values. Let's see. In one record, I have student number, name, teacher, phone. Second record also 1, 2, 3, 4. So in one record, how many values you have? 4 values, is it? So this is called 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. But in my case, it has only one. What is my case? Select student. This is the query I executed from student. So one record has only one value. Remember, only one value. So system.out.println result dot get string. So they are all considered as a string. Only one value you have it. Is it? That's it. So result set dot get string. One means in one line, one record, what are the, how many values are the one value? So you say number 1. Okay. So here I have only one. So this is the one. If you have in one record more than one value, you say number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, something like that. For example, we will see later. Sorry, why I put a. Now I finished with my program. That's it. So you close the connection. How to close the connection? Very simple. This is the connection object. Close. So connection will be closed. So let's save the program and then try to find out any mistakes, errors. Now let's execute. Okay, the driver is loaded. There is no problem with loading the driver. No problem with connecting to the database. And this is the output. Just now I added 11119. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 records are there, is it? I mean, sorry, 8 records. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 records are there. Because the question says extract all the ID number and print it onto the screen. Standard output means screen. So I extract, using the select statement, I extract only the ID number and then I display it onto the screen. Is it fine? So now let's see another exercise. Okay, so this exercise, what we will do, extract the same thing. Okay, similar to the previous exercise, we will do this one. So extract all the records of student table and display or print onto the standard output or standard console, whatever. Okay, let's say I put console. It's very exactly like the same previous question. In the previous exercise, we extract student ID number only. Now I'm going to extract all from the student table. Okay, fine. So that is the question. And the next, same thing you are going to do, nothing else. Okay, so I need some package classes from the SQL package, and then start your program, class definition, and then your main method definition. I told you you can write try catch or declaring an exception. SQL exception, class not found exception. Fine. So this is about the class definition and main method definition. Same thing like so we are going to load the driver. I told you class for name. I'm going to use the MySQL driver class jdbc.driver. So the driver class, this is the class name. Driver, this is the class name here. The class name always starts with capital letter. These are all the location, the path. So that's the thing. Semicolon at the end. And after successfully loading the driver, let's print out something. Driver is loaded. It's nothing new, exactly the same exercise. Then connect the database. Again, we are going to use a class called connection. This is the object name, and driver manager is the class name. Get connection is the object name, method name. Okay, because I already have it. It's a long string. I have it already. So this is the connection to the database. After successfully connecting, let's print a message. Database is connected. Now we need to create a statement and execute a statement. So let's create a statement. What statement? SQL statement only, but I'm not going to write here. The statement I'm not going to write. I'm going to create a statement object, which is statement connection dot, and then create statement. I'm just going to create a statement. That's it. Okay, what is the statement? I will mention it when I execute the statement. So let me execute. So what statement I'm going to use? Extract all the record. So select statement. Select statement is going to give me a result. So result set result equals st dot execute. Wait a minute. Query inside the bracket select asterisk, because the question says select all the records. All the records and all the fields of all the records. All the fields of all the records. So that you can understand that I need all the fields. ID number, name, major, and phone number of all the records. So all the 8 records. Okay. So select star from student. So quotation over, and this is the statement. Here is my statement, and execute query will execute the statement, and the result will be stored here in this object. So now the result contains a lot of things. I'm going to print. It's not going to contain one value. It's going to contain a collection of values. How many records? How many columns? I don't know. So you are going to use the while statement. While result as a next record, semicolon. Next record, you print it. Do you remember last time when I print, I just say only one output, like result dot get string. And then I say 1, because one record contains one value. So I said get string 1. Finish. Let me count the quotation. This is extra bracket. Yeah, now fine. Okay then. So each record contained one value. One field was extracted. But here, each record may have many values. Is it? So how many values? Probably you have to know that number. That's easy for you. So in one record, I have ID number, name, major, phone number, 4. So there are 4. So after the 1, I just give a space. If you don't like it, you have the tab /t, leave some space, and then result dot get string second value as /t, and then maybe the third value dot get string number 3. Then let me go with the fourth value /t. Yeah, plus result dot get string fourth value. Fine. Oh no, there is no semicolon. Let me count the bracket is okay. This is for here. The plus and quotation you have to make sure. Maybe there will be a missing quotation or missing plus. Yeah, no more. So in one line, there are 4 columns. So first I will print the first column, leave some space, second column value, leave some space, third column value, leave some space, and then the last column value. And in the next line, you will print the next record. In the next line, another record, another record. It goes on like that. Then you have to close the connection. Close the connection. Very simple. Connection dot close. Okay. So let me save and see any mistakes. Okay. Let's execute it. Okay, all are in the one line. Anybody can tell me why the output doesn't go like that? You know, it should go one by one, line by line. See, ID number, John, CS, phone number. And it goes with the ID number of Jack, MIS, phone number. And this is the ID number of Jill. It all goes in same line. What's this? I don't like it. I want it like record by record. How I can do that? Anybody can tell me how to print it line by line? First record and then second record, each line. Anybody can tell me? What happened? No one wants to say it. \n, fine, wedge down. You want to put a \n at the end. You mean to say here. Just a second. \n at the end after the fourth value. Is it? There is one quick solution. I write system.out.print. One simple solution, println. Can you get the idea? Just say system.out.println. So when you say println, your answer is also nice. You know, I'm not telling it's wrong. This is another solution. Okay, so either of the way you can do it. Fine. Either Vejdan said \n. Where to put \n at the end? Let me do it here. Here you put a \n. After the fourth column value, just plus and then backslash n. This also will work. Okay, I'm not telling it's wrong. This is one solution, and another solution you write ln. Okay, fine. So this is about the second exercise where we extract all the fields of all the records from the student table and display it onto the console. Is it clear, everyone? Okay, if this is clear, similar type of thing, let's do very close to this exercise. Let me call it EX3. Okay, so here we are not going to extract all the fields of all the records from the student table. What are we going to do? We are going to extract all the records, all the fields of all the records from the student table. Okay, whatever is it. Who is in CS major? So there is a condition. What is the condition? I'm going to extract all the fields from all the records from the student table, but studying in CS major. I don't care about the other major, because when you execute this is what? Exercise 3. Why exercise 3? It should be exercise 2. Yeah. So when you have this one, I'll just execute this one. Sorry, I did not compile it. Did I compile? Just a second. So let's see the output of the same program. It is displaying all the students' records. CS, MIS, computer engineering, again CS, and ID, computer engineering, computer engineering, computer engineering. Okay, it displays all the students' records. But my question is, you display all the fields of all the records of the student on the student table. Okay, who is in the CS major? Okay, only the records of the students of the CS major. Okay, fine. So what I'm going to do, everything is same. So you load the database, load the driver, connect to the database, creating a statement, object, fine. When you execute the statement, you have to give a condition. Okay, what is the condition? Select star from student where major MAJ major, remember the spelling. This is the one I gave it in the database. When I create, I gave this one in the database, where major equals, what should be the major? CS. Give that, okay, remember, when you are giving a condition and it has a string value, you are not going to put the string value inside the double quotation. You just put it inside the single quotation. See, select star from student where major equal CS. Do you get the idea? and don't confuse with this. This is for this, and this double quotation here, beginning here. Only the CS students records I want to see. So in this way, you can have the where class. While I am teaching the SQL statement, I taught where by, where class, order by, sorting, ascending, descending. We discussed many things, is it? All those things you can use it here. All those things you can put it here, like where, major equals CS, and phone number is this, or, and we say like class, between, we studied many things. All those things you can put it here, no problem. Okay, we saw the logical operator and or not, and then relational operator like less than, greater than, between this and that. Do you get the idea? And order by, so order by, and joining. So many classes, is it? So whatever we discussed for select statement, you can try to write it here inside the double quotation. In case if you are comparing something with string value, put it in single quotation. Okay, so the question is select all the records of the student who is in CS major. See the output, it shows only the students who are in CS major. I didn't see computer engineering, MIS or ID, no one. Do you get the idea? So it selects only those records. So in this way you can try to have that. Is it fine with you all? Okay, let me open the client, MySQL client. Okay, here it is. So here, let me use the database. This is one problem. Student file is the database. Okay, let's see the statement. Select star from student. So here we have certain number of records in the table. Okay, 8 records are there. See, when you have more records affected or more records have some more result set, you have to use the execute query. This is the one I show you in the previous slide. Okay, and when one record is affected or like one count is there, then you can use the execute update. For example, at a time I can insert only one record. How do you insert? Insert into student values. Here you will mention the value. See, 11120. This is the ID number. Maybe the name is let's say Jim, and then the major is computer engineering, no, computer science, no, yeah, maybe IT. Okay, let's go for something, and the ID number, sorry, phone number is 123 something like that. See, at a time you can able to insert one record. See the count, one row affected. When there is one row affected, you are going to use the execute update. Remember this point. When there are more counts or more result set, more values in the result set, execute query. When there is one count or one result, then you are going to use execute update. This is the one I mentioned in the last slide. Okay, so insert. So let's go into the insert statement. How can I execute insert statement from my Java program? Okay, so I'm planning to insert a record from my program. I'm not going to go to the table. Okay, I'm not going to, sorry, the client screen, command line client screen. Okay, so let's say just now I inserted something. Yeah, Jim has been inserted, but I'm not going to insert in this black screen. So forget about it. So let's go to the Java program. By the way, most of the things are going to be the same. So I'll copy it. Okay, you don't do that, but save time. So what's my question? The question is, we are going to write a Java program. Okay, Java database programming to insert a record into student table. So you are going to insert a record into the student table. You get the idea? So this is my question. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do is, as I copied, let me copy everything. But I don't need this result set. These are all not going to be the same. Let me remove all those things. Okay. Anyway, this is EX3. Fine. How to load the driver? It's the same way. No changes. That's what I copied from the previous program. How to connect to the database? No change. Do you get the idea? How are you going to close the connection? It's okay, the same thing. Okay, so loading the driver, connecting to the database, it's the same. So there is a difference in the statement and executing the statement. So what statement I'm going to use is prepared statement. This is what I mentioned here. You see the previous slide. So prepared statement. We are going to use the prepared statement. Okay, here it is. The previous slide. Did I mention it? Okay, here. A prepared statement is designed to execute dynamic SQL statements and SQL stored procedure where in command with in parameters. Okay then. So this is the one I'm going to do, this prepared statement. Okay. How are you going to create a statement? Using the prepared statement. Okay. So let's create a statement which is prepared statement. Create a prepared statement. Fine. So the class I'm going to use is prepared statement. This is the class and the same object name. You can write any object name. This is your choice. Now I'm going to create a prepared statement. So connection dot, the method name is prepare statement. Don't get confused. Class name is prepared. Prepared. The method is prepare statement. This is method. This is a class. Remember, this is a class, this is a method. The difference is P small letter and there is no D here. Prepare statement. Okay. Inside the bracket, you have to write the statement. So what's your statement? In the double quotation, you just write insert into student values. Okay, if you want to insert only selected certain fields, you mention the fields. Like I want to insert only the name and the major. So you mention those things inside the bracket. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to insert the whole record. Do you get my point? So insert into student values. So in here, the values, the issue is, if I give the value, like for example, straight away here, this is what I was telling. This is a dynamic SQL statement. Okay, remember dynamic SQL statement. Okay. In case if I give the values here, for example, student ID number is 111, name is Kavita, for example, like that. Whenever I execute this prepared statement, only the record of Kavita will be inserted. I don't want that. I want a different records. The same program, when I execute, it inserts one record. When I execute next time, it inserts another record. So it's not good to give the value inside here like this. I want to change the value every time. Do you get the idea? So what are you going to do here? Do not give the values here. Instead, we are going to set. Okay, then. So that is the idea. It will enable you to create the parameter. Okay, parameterized SQL statement. So here we are going to have some parameter. Fine. So that's the one good thing you need to remember. So what's the parameter here? You are going to mention some character. You will set a parameter for that. For example, I'm going to give quotation, sorry, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, 4. Because 4 values will be inserted in one record. Fine. And then close the bracket and close the quotation. This is the prepared statement. Finish. Insert into student values. And there is no values given here. Later, I will set the values. Do you get the idea? So, X, the question mark is a type of parameter, and I'm going to have a value for each parameter. Do you get the idea? I'm going to set a value for each parameter. So this is the thing you need to remember now. Now, let's see how I'm going to give values for these 4 question marks. So I say these are the parameters. So what is the value of these parameters? You can assign values. If you straight away assign, no problem. Or else if you want to read from user, you know, scanner class. Using scanner class, you can take input from the user. Then you can assign the value for this parameters. Why not? No problem. Okay. Simple thing. Let me assign a value. Okay then. So statement dot set string. I'm going to set a value for this parameter and for this number 1, for this number 2. You go in with the sequence. This is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. And this is number 4. I'm going to assign a value. Set a value for each of these parameter. Okay. So sd.setString for the first parameter, number 1, value is, first parameter is ID number. So 11121, something like that. Fine. So statement set string for the number 2. So for number 1, ID number. Number 2, name. So name. Okay, what name I can give? Something like that. I don't know. Just write whatever. So set string for the third parameter. This is for major. You know, I'm going in the sequence of the SQL. First ID number and then name and then major and then phone number. Okay. So the third one is for the major. Design, computer science, MIS maybe. Okay, and the fourth one for the set string for the what? Phone number. So 12121212. So I set values for these 4 parameters. Here I'm assigning value. You get the idea? I'm assigning value, or else you can read value from the user and you can assign it to the number 1, parameter 1, parameter 2, parameter 3, 4. You get the idea? Simple example, I'm assigning value. Maybe the next exercise we can take from the user. Okay. So this is the way I create the prepared statement with parameters. So prepared statement here is the insert statement, and I have 4 parameters and I set the value for the 4 parameter. So prepared statement is over. Now I'm going to execute the statement. In the slide, let's go back to the, yeah. Methods for executing the SQL statement are execute query and execute update. But for execute update, what is it? Yeah, here it is. Execute update method should be used if the statement results in a single update count or no update count. For example, insert statement, delete statement, update statement. So I'm using insert statement. So what execute method I have to use? Execute update. So this is what I'm going to use. st dot execute update. That's it. Don't write anything inside. Very simple one. It is not going to return any value. Remember, execute query returns a value. You have to write the query here. Execute query. You know the previous. Let me go to previous. See, for execute query, you need to write the statement inside the bracket, and that result that it returns a value. Returns a value. Execute query takes something as argument, the SQL statement as the argument, and it returns a value. That is execute query. For execute update, there is no argument. You see, it's empty and it's not returning any value. Do you get the idea, the difference? Okay, I hope you got it. Let me see the compilation mistakes, if any. So there is no compilation mistake. So there is nothing. Process completed. Let's try to execute the program. Okay, driver is loaded, database is connected. There is no output because I did not display anything, no system.out.println. I have driver is loaded. And here database is connected. After that, I created a prepared statement and I set value for the parameters and I execute the prepared statement. After executed, I close the connection. So there is no output. Let's see the black screen. Go to the command line client and see the one we insert here is Jackie MIS. Is it there? Can you see here? It's already been updated in your table. It got updated. You get the idea? So this way we can able to create a record. So not create a record. Insert a record into a table. Okay. So at least one record at a time. But the problem here is when I execute the same program again, let's execute the same program again. You got an error message. Anybody can tell me why I have the error message? First time when I execute, I show you the black screen. The new record has been created. This is the new record. It has been created. So the next time I execute the same program, but I got a long error message. Anybody can tell me what is the mistake? Any guess? Just guess the answer. It may not be correct or it may be correct. Why I get the long error message? The error message is on the screen. You can read it and you can explain it. No problem. Nobody? Why there is no answers? Are you all here? So I'm asking why I get the error message. Yes, Vajda. Any guess? Why when I execute the program for the next time, I get an error message. Very simple. You see here the first line gives you the clue. There is a clue here. Anybody can read the first line of the error message, and then almost the answer is in the first line. Still you can't figure out. It says clearly duplicate entry 11121 for the primary. You remember that this value is for the ID number, this value is for the name and major, and this is for the phone number. How can you have the ID number for two students having the same ID number? Can you get the idea? It's a primary key. Do you remember when we set the, let me open this and describe student. See, student ID number is a primary key. Primary key cannot have repeated value, or you can say duplicated value. So no duplicated value for the primary key. Already I inserted 11121. Again, you cannot insert a new record with the same ID number. That is the error message. Do you get the idea, everyone? So this is the issue. I mean to say this is the problem. Okay. But what you can do, you can read a value from user and then you can try to execute. So instead of assigning a value, you can read a value from the user. Okay, that one we will see now. Okay, that's good. So let's see the same program with a small modification. Let me save it as exercise 4. So here I change a little bit. Here you are going to read the values from the user. Values for what? Value for the new record. Okay, so if you are going to insert, you are going to read the value for the new record from the table. Fine. So here got the scanner class, import java.utility, because we need a scanner class. So what I'm going to do here, for each parameter, can I say abc dot next? This next enough. Okay, abc dot next, or next line, whatever. So for the name and for major and for the phone number. So here, do you get the idea what I'm doing here? I'm reading a value. So abc dot next, next or next line, whatever is it. Okay, let's see which one works fine. So driver is connected, database is loaded, it's still blinking, is it? So it's waiting for me to type the value 11121. 121 is not there. 121 is there. So 121 maybe. No, I gave a value which is already there. So sorry, let me end up. Let me stop the thing. Just a second. Okay. Driver is loaded, database is connected. Now it is blinking because I have this read statement. So 11122, whatever is it. This is for the ID number. Name is maybe this is the name, and the major is IT, and the phone number is something like that. Okay. So process completed. So the new record is for Peterson. So let's go to the database. So let's see the select star from student. You see the new record, Peterson. Again, already you have Peterson, but it doesn't matter. Name can be same. Only the ID number, it's different. So Peterson ID. So this is the phone number I gave. Fine. Do you get the idea? So either you assign a value for the parameters. So there are 4 parameters. You set 4 parameters. Each question mark is each parameter. And the number goes in sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Okay, just give question mark here. You don't write number. Okay, but this question mark is associated with number. The first question mark number is 1. For this, the number is 2. See, in sequence. And you assign a value to each parameter. How to assign a value? Using the method called setString. You set a string, the parameter. Okay, set a value to the parameter. So either you assign a value straight away. Last example, I assign value. This example, I read from the user and assign it to the parameter. Read another one, parameter. Read another one. Okay, what you read is, you can't read an integer value or a double. Next int, next double will not work. Either next or next line, string value. Because you say set string. So you have to assign a string value. Do you get the idea? So in this way, you can create a prepared statement. And how to execute the prepared statement? Very simple. Using the method called execute update. So this execute update will, will execute the prepared statement. Fine. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, I assume that there is no questions. Okay, let's do one more exercise for the prepared statement. So let's see other exercise. Java database programming. To update okay, to update a record. Update the phone number of a record. Phone number 321-123-321. I think we have this number 321 123 321 to take the phone number to 111222333, something like that. Fine. So this is the question. We are going to write a Java database programming to update the phone number of table of student table. Okay then. So what I'm going to do, most of the statements are going to be the same. I just copy the statements. I don't need scanner class because I'm not going to read anything. So loading the driver is the same. Connection is the same. Okay. And the statement, prepared statement, what I'm going to write here in the prepared statement, update. Okay, what is the update statement? So you remember the update. Update table name, set values, etc. etc. Okay, so let me write the update. What I'm going to do, I'm going to update the phone number this to this. So update student, do you get the idea? Set something equal to something. Okay, so phone equal to, let me check, is this phone, HONE, in the database? What I said, phone, same spelling, 111222333. Okay, and I have a class where phone equal to 321123321. That's it. Do you get the idea what I am trying to do? I'm going to update the student table. I'm going to change the phone number to 112233 for which student? Which student has this phone number? This will be changed to this number. Do you get the idea? So this is one example. Okay, let's see the output. Okay, let me make it. Everything is same. Loading the driver is the same. Making a connection is the same. Closing the connection is same. Only here is I have the prepared statement and execute update. Okay, let's see the output. I couldn't able to hear. Vejdan and Luzan said no. What is no? I didn't notice your messages. You have any questions? You write no. What is that for? I forgot. Do you get that idea or you don't understand? No means you don't understand. Okay, let me continue. So let's see. I updated the student whose number is phone number is something. Go to the black screen. Whose number 321123321? Peterson. So Peterson phone number will now be changed. My changed already. I want to check. Is it changed? Yeah, it got changed. Peterson number was 321123321. Now it is changed to 111222333. Do you get the idea? So for delete statement, for update statement, and for the insert statement, you are going to use the prepared statement and execute update. Fine. So this is how are you going to use the update statement. So let's try to use the same thing for delete statement. Okay. Let me open a new file. So the question here is, I'm planning to delete the student record, student record whose phone number is this one. from the student table. Okay, so this is what I am going to delete. I don't want this student with this, that whole record I am planning to delete. So this is exercise 6. How to load the driver is the same, no changes. How to make a connection is the same, prepared statement. Here you have to give the command, SQL command, delete from student. If you say delete from student, all the records will be deleted. I don't want to delete all the record. I want to delete only one student record. Which student? Whose number is 112233. So 11222333. 11122333. So delete from student where phone equal to something. Okay. So let's see the output. Okay, execute the program. Okay, you won't see anything because I did not print anything. I just loaded the driver, connected to the database, and then we have some delete SQL statement, and I execute the statement. I'm not printing anything. So you won't see any output here. Go to the black screen. This student, Peterson, with 112233 should not be there. I deleted it. Can you see here? 111222. After the student, MIS student, I don't have any IT student. Peterson, missing. Because it got deleted. Can you get the idea? So today we saw two types of statements. Statement and prepare statement. How to execute the statement? We have an execute query. When the statement produces more result, more than one, and plus or sometimes it can have more than one count, you are going to use the execute query. The statement is affecting only one row or one count, then you are going to use the execute update. This is the way. So you know how to create a prepare statement and how to execute a prepared statement. Okay, so we saw many of the commands: insert, select, update, delete, everything. Okay, we saw all those things. Okay, so this is about the execute update.